Hello, hello, happy Friday, actual Friday. I believe it's Friday. It's hard to tell as all the days are running together. My name is KJ Hamus. Ooh, I don't even have to say my last name anymore. My name is KJ Hamus, and this is our 75-minute slow flow plus yin class. And tonight we're going to be working into the hips with the goal of tackling a bit of anxiety that we all might be carrying around, or any other emotion that's kind of popping up. So I'm just gonna move back, grab my water, because I always tend to need it. As pressure begins to build up in the body, whether emotionally and then physically, it starts to really weigh us down, and it can get locked in other parts of the body, but particularly in the hips. And as other parts of the body start to get locked, maybe it's the chest or wherever, things get really tight, and taking a deep breath can just be really challenging. So if you take an anxious breath, it's like, and you're really clenching off and closing things off. So tonight we're going to use the hips as a tool to help us start to release that anxiety and then hopefully find that deeper breath. So a couple things you'll need. You need blocks or books, depending on what you've got around. One blanket, a pillow or a yoga bolster. And then you may just want a strap. So all of the yoga props for this practice. So let's just go ahead. And if you want to just let me know that you're here, that's great. If you prefer to be totally anonymous, I get it. We're going to take all of our props just on our backs in an active rest. Take a moment here, too, as you're finding that active rest, to turn off your cell phone. I use mine for a timer. So I will just let you know I'm doing that. So let's come on to our backs here. And bring the knees up to the ceiling. Tuck the tailbone up a little bit so the low back presses into the ground. Bring the arms out long by your sides, palms face up to receive energy, palms face down for grounding. And I invite you to receive 3 deep breaths in through the nose. And then exhale, open mouth, sigh it out, let it go. Deep, slow breath in through the nose. Exhale, sigh it out, let it go. One last time, full breath in. And exhale, let it go. Orienting yourself in space and time. The space being here and the time being now. So knowing for the next 60 minutes, actually 75, you have nowhere else to be but here on your mat. And start to let the outside world fade around you. Beginning to draw the senses inward. So taste what is in the mouth. What do you smell inside the nose? Can you feel the muscle wrapped around the bone? Can you start to hear inside what's happening there and see inside the body? And using your breath as the starting point to start to create a visual picture of how you're showing up. So not changing the breath, not controlling the breath, just noticing it. And as you notice the breath in its natural state, how is it moving? So where does it gravitate toward? Does it want to go in one direction? Is there a roadblock up there that is forcing it to go into another direction? Or does it automatically go to one spot that maybe is a bit more open? Or does it automatically go to the tense spot? Again, no right or wrong, just a moment to notice. And as you start to notice the breath at an even deeper level, what's coming up, not only physically, but emotionally? Take a moment here to observe that. And be honest with yourself. So if you're not being honest with yourself about how you're feeling, we can be causing ourselves harm, which is what we're trying to liberate ourselves from in this proper space, that maybe we can have that safe space in the body to process the emotions, or maybe let them just become a little lighter. Are you able to, with the breath, feel a sense of calm and peace over the body? Or do things feel really wired? It's okay if they feel really wired. Again, just observe, notice. And here, start to deepen the breath. Begin to receive the breath in through the nose. And then as you breathe out, start to breathe out from the sternum, the heart space, the center of the chest. We want to change the movement, the flow of the breath, so that it can help us really start to get deep in the body and release some of the anxiety that we might be carrying with us into the practice this evening. So if you bring your hands, maybe the fingertips to touch, palms pointed down to the nose. As you inhale, start to use the hands to push the breath down all the way to the belly. So feeling that movement of breath, of energy down. And then as you exhale, move the hands back up, starting to feel the breath move from the belly all the way out through the sternum. You'll even stop as you exhale right above the heart space. And from here on the inhale, feel as if the breath is coming in, taking pressure away from the mind, moving that pressure out and down the body. And then as you inhale, feel the breath come back up and leave through the sternum. We don't want to repressurize the brain, so to speak. So keep doing that movement. So moving the breath down as you breathe in through the nose, feeling the breath, feeling the energy push down toward the feet. And then as you exhale, feel the breath as the diaphragm relaxes back, pull back up and leave through the sternum. So as you continue to breathe here, moving at your own pace, begin to feel the brain as it grows smaller. So let it contract. And then as you exhale, the brain is going to expand, but it'll soften. And the thoughts will hopefully start to soften with it and crowd the mind less. After you take a few more here and you feel like you've got that breath rhythm, if you'd like to stop using the hands, that's fine. But if you find that it's helping you, continue to do that for a little bit longer. This is just a gentle, soft breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Notice too, as you take this breath, if you're clenching the jaw, see if you can soften the jaw. Maybe even let the tongue rest at the bottom of the mouth. When we do that, when we let the tongue rest at the bottom of the mouth, saliva starts to pool. And if you do that for about 10 to 15 seconds, a calming effect begins to take over the body. So take one more full round here, using this time to set your intention or focus for your practice. This can be a very simple word or phrase. Or it could be honoring what called you to your mat tonight. You let go of something that is harming you. You can get a bit more freedom. If you're ready, release your hands down to the ground, straighten the legs out nice and long. Bending the right, not yet. As you inhale, float the left leg to the sky. You can use your strap here if you'd like. Reach your hands behind the leg, or just a supine, reclined knee to nose pose. Flex the foot, draw it back a little. Try to avoid putting pressure directly underneath the knee. There's a lot of nerves and stuff underneath there, so you don't want to harm that. And breathe here, opening up the back side of the body. Find the breath. Inhale. Exhale. As you inhale, bend the right knee, place the bottom of the foot on the ground. Now on the exhale, left ankle over the right thigh. Bring both knees into the chest and try and reach in front of the knee here for reclined figure four. Don't force the knee back, but do put a gentle flex in both knees so we can start to open up the hips. Keep breathing here. Notice what happens to the breath as you take this shape. Notice what emotions are coming up. Let's take one more full breath here and full breath out. Keeping the left leg where it's at, bring the right foot back down to the ground. And on your next exhale, take a twist here. So I'll turn to the front so you can see this a little bit more. Your upper body's on the ground, your left ankle is still over the right knee. So working into the IT band here. This time of the right foot, more right leg most likely. So again, working to open up the outside of the hip. Arms can cactus out, maybe move around a little bit, broadening across the shoulder blades. Feel free to gaze over to the right. Let's take 3 breaths here. You find stillness and peace in this shape. One more breath in, breath out. Very gently as you inhale, bring both knees back up. And then as you exhale, place both feet. Maybe give it how tight your hamstrings are. I'm not really sure. You get to decide. Soft bend or you can straighten. Try not to lock the knee too much. Hands interlaced behind the thighs. Flex the toes a little bit toward the nose. As maybe you draw the leg a little bit closer. Take a few breaths here. Focus on just the feeling of the stretch and the movement of the breath. We'll take one more breath here and breath out. On your next inhale, bend the left knee so it's up to the sky. And as you exhale, right ankle over left thigh. Bring it on back into the body. See if it feels okay to lace the hands around the front side of the left leg. Flex the feet lightly, working into the outside right boot, hip. Find 3 breaths. Let the neck soften. Let the low back soften. Jaw release from the hinges. And breath out. Keeping the right foot where it's at. Bring the left leg down to the ground, the left foot down to the ground. And then as you exhale, drop the legs over to the right. So your right ankle is going to stay across the left thigh. Arms can cactus. Move around a little bit in the upper body to create more space. See what it feels like. If you're feeling compression in the low back, tuck the tailbone a little bit. Maybe adjust the angle of where you're feeling putting the ankle. So move around a little bit. You might need to move some flesh out of the way, just depending on how that feels in your body. Let's take 3 breaths here. Flex both feet to protect the knees. And take one more breath in, breath out. From here, as you inhale, bring the left foot down to the ground, knee pointed up. Then as you exhale, bring both knees into the body. Let's bring the soles of the feet to touch and reach for the outsides of the feet. Think of this almost as like an elevated reclined butterfly. So just that gentle opening, start to press the soles of the feet to touch. So you get a stretch on the inside of the leg. Take one breath in here and full breath out. As you inhale, start to gain momentum, rock up, coming into a butterfly pose. Bring the hands behind you, sit back, sit forward just a little bit to bring the legs closer to the heels. Don't push the knees down. Let the energy just directly come out from the knees wherever they're at. Keep pressing the feet together to feel the inside of the legs stretch. We'll take 3 to 4 breaths here. Make sure you have a little space between you and the front of the mat as well. Find the breath. Nice long back. Let's take one more deep inhale. Deep exhale. Keeping the legs wide, start to bring the soles of the feet down and rock up to a wide-legged squat. We're going to drape the inside of the body in between the legs. Let the neck hang nice and heavy. Breathing here. So coming up to the balls of the feet, lifting the heels off. Forearms can be on the ground. Take one more breath here. Breath out. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders, and as you inhale, find a forward fold. Again, being mindful of the hamstrings. Soft bend in the knees, really deep bend in the knees, up to you. Do try and let all the way down toward the feet, and then feel them come back up from the feet out through the sternum. Reaching their hands behind you, interlace the fingers. Inhale, flat back, lengthen. As you exhale, fold. Don't force the shoulders to do anything that they are not ready for. We want to release the shoulders because if we're tensing the jaw, it's likely that we're feeling tension in the neck, and potentially that means shrugging of the shoulders. So see if you can find a stretch here. The hands fall away from the body. Even a soft bend in the elbows is great. We'll take one more breath in and breath out. Grounding down through the feet, gently release the hands. And as you inhale, slowly start to rise all the way up. Palms are going to touch overhead. And keeping our hands raised up overhead, pause for your exhale. Taking another exercise to help us find that breath movement. As we inhale, we're going to slowly come up to the balls of the feet as our arms are going to come down by our sides. So feeling ourselves lifted while the breath comes down. And then as we exhale, we're going to lower the heels and lift the arms back up. Try and make them go at the same time. Inhale, lift up, arms down, nice and slow. Exhale, slowly lower down, lift the arms back up. So begin to find your rhythm. We'll be here for just a little bit longer. Nice and slow. Turn the other way. Take 2 more. And the next time you're on your feet completely, go ahead and just softly bring the arms by the sides. Tadasana, mountain pose. Reestablish that breath. Find what feels good for you here. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. As you inhale, reach the arms up long overhead. Exhale, hinge and fold. Bow forward. From this bow, once again, interlace the fingers behind the back, flat back, lengthen. And exhale, fold forward, taking that shoulder opening. Everybody's shoulders are different, so don't worry about what everybody else's shoulders are doing. Just notice where yours get to today and breathe into that space. As you inhale, gently find a flat back. Release the hands down to the ground. And then step the left foot back, low runner's lunge. Breathing here. Come up onto the fingertips, lift the low belly off the thighs, press back through the heel. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Drop the back knee down, bring the hands to the thighs, Anjaneyasana. Send the hips forward. Shine the heart forward, stretching through that left hip flexor. Feel the breath in through the nose, out through the sternum. Inhale. Exhale. Take one more. Breath in. Breath out. Coming back to your low runner's lunge as you inhale, lift up. Then as you exhale, find a skandasana at the back of the mat. So stay up tall for right now. Press both feet firmly into the ground. You want to keep both heels on the ground. In particular, I'm looking at my left heel at the moment. Knee stacked over the ankle. Don't let the butt get too far back or drop. Chest stays lifted. This can be a good and safe place for a lot of people to be in this skandasana. So as you inhale, you're going to rock yourself back over to the right. Pause here and breathe in the shape through the exhale. So same thing, knee over ankle, pressing evenly through the back foot, engaging through the quadricep in the left leg, feeling strong there. And then move back and forth. Inhale through center, exhale, skandasana. You might come down a little bit lower. If you'd like and you come and you feel good, you can always bring the back toes up as long as your other ankle stays down on the ground. We don't want to compromise the knee. We want to make sure that both knees are protected. Core is engaged. Let's take one more full breath in. And then as you exhale, find that wide-legged squat. Let everything hang nice and long. Could be malasana, could be the toes come together. Just breathe here. Let the upper body fold and drape as the head hangs heavy. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. As you inhale, plant the hands underneath the shoulders. And exhale, bow forward. Noticing how the hamstrings feel. Noticing where the breath is at. As you inhale, start to reach the arms up overhead. Pause here for our exhale. Let's take one more of our movement exercise. Inhale, lift up onto the heels. Hands come down. Exhale, the other way. Arms up, heels down. Breath in. Exhale, hinge and fold forward. As you're ready, find a flat back, interlacing the hands. This time, switch index fingers more in the front, same with the thumb. And exhale, fold. Breathing here. So with each breath, try and soften into the shape. Don't force anything. Try and let go of any tension that you're carrying with you. And if you're holding too much tension and it's stopping the breath, back out of the shape a little bit. This is about finding freedom in the body, not causing harm. There is no should unless it's a safety thing. Other than that, most bets are off. Take one more breath in, breath out. As you inhale, gently find a flat back, release the hand. Exhale, right foot steps back, low runner's lunge. Breathe here. Come up onto the fingertips. Lift the low belly off the thighs. Shine the heart forward. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Dropping through the back knee. As you inhale, hands come to thigh, Anjaneyasana. So feeling the stretch in the hip flexor on the right leg. Finding the breath. So use the breath to help you sink into the shape. And in our breath, we can also tap into our inner strength, our inner wisdom. And we're all working toward this place of non-harming and freedom within ourselves. Let's take one more breath in here. Breath out. As you inhale, come back to your low runner's lunge. And as you exhale, find Skandasana with the right foot. So you know where we're going. Take the movement back and forth. Nice and slow. Find what works for you. As you breathe into the hips, can you go a little deeper? Or if you don't go deeper, can you ease into that shape, into that space differently? Your next one, we'll all meet back in low runner's lunge, facing the left foot. Keep the left foot center, and then step the right foot up. Take that wide-legged squat, folding the upper body down. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Planting the hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale. Roll forward. Forward fold. And fold. Exhale. Reaching the arms up overhead. Inhale. Lift up. And this time as you exhale, sit back. Chair pose. Utkatasana. So grounding down through the heels. Sitting back in the hips. Breathe. Full breaths in and full breaths out. As you inhale, press the arms forward, hover the chest, lift the heels. And then as you exhale, sit back, chair pose, lift the heart, lift the arms. Inhale, press forward, iron footstool, energy reaches. Exhale, lift up, chair pose. Take a few more here. Move with the breath. Last time meeting in chair. Take a breath in. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, find a flat back. As you exhale, step the left foot back. Low runner's lunge. On your inhale, come into Skandasana at the back of the mat, left foot. Walk forward and Skandasana toward the front. Find your low runner's lunge once again. Shine the heart forward, inhale. And then as you exhale, we're gonna take reverse Skandasana. So it's gonna come onto the outer edge of your right foot. You're gonna almost twist with the upper body. The back leg can come down, or you can lift it up. Try not to lose the strength or the stability in the ankle. Stay lifted here, flex. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, walk your way back through center. Exhale, reverse Skandasana the other direction. So working into that hip, finding the twist. Let's take that once more, each side. Inhale, walk through center. Exhale, Skandasana. Inhale, find your way through center. Exhale, Skandasana. Meeting back, inhale, frame the right foot. Pause, live in the shape on the exhale. Bringing your hands to your heart space, ground down through the right foot. And slowly, as you inhale, lift up, one-legged Tadasana. So testing our balance, testing our breath. Breathe here. Lift the torso out of the pelvic floor. I'm going to turn so I can face the camera a little bit. And breathe. Inhale. Exhale. On the inhale, press the arms, press the leg forward. And then as you exhale, float the arms, float the leg back. Warrior three. Keep lifting up. Inhale. Swing the leg forward. Press the arms. Exhale. Send it back. Take a few more with your breath. You are strong. You've got this. It's okay to bend the knee through center as you come back. And then the next time that your left leg is reaching forward, pause there. Lift a little bit more out of the shape. Lift from the core. Breathe. As you inhale, draw the right knee into the chest, one-legged Tadasana, hands on the hips. As you exhale, open it out to the side. We're going to take an internal rotation, so start to turn the knee down, bring it by the other knee. Sweep it through, one-legged Tadasana. So taking our hip circles here. So think about when we bring the leg into that internal rotation. So after we've opened it up external, we draw the knee and the thigh down. It's like a standing dog reaching for the fire hydrant. And then when you're ready, go the other direction. Nice and slow. And then the next time your knee is forward, wrap the left leg around the right, sinking into the right leg eagle pose. So challenging it up a bit, take your left hand, right arm underneath. Breathe. Work to broaden across the shoulder blades. So the shoulder blades are moving away from the spine in protraction. Palms can touch, lift the elbows. Find one spot and breathe here. We're here for 5, 4, 3, squeeze the legs, 2, whoop, and 1. Inhale, one-legged Tadasana. And exhale, set it down. Go ahead and shake out that right foot. If you're wearing glasses like I am and you're sweating, take a moment. Wipe off the bridge of your nose. Wipe off your glasses. Because you don't want them to fall and step on them. That would be bad. We ain't got time for that right now. All right, meeting back here. Let's take a deep, slow breath in. And a deep, slow breath out. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, hinge and fold forward. Find that wide-legged squat here. Sink beneath the feet or the thighs. Live in the shape on the exhale. Inhale, plant the palms flat back. And as you exhale, sit back, Utkatasana, chair pose. Other side, you know where we're going. Inhale, iron footstool, move the energy, move the breath forward. Exhale, send it back up through the sternum. Inhale, forward, iron footstool. Exhale, back up, sternum. Let's take 2 more. Leaning back in our chair pose, breath in. Exhale, bow low. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, right foot steps back, low runner's lunge. As you inhale, come through center, Skandasana toward the right. Inhale, come through center, and then find your reverse Skandasana here over the left foot. Breathe. Full breath in, full breath out. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, reverse Skandasana. Staying strong in the ankle. Let's move that one more time. Nice and slow. There's no rush. And then the next time we come back to our left foot, find your low runner's lunge. Draw belly button into the spine to engage the core, ground down through the left foot. And then as you inhale, hands to the heart space, lift up. Ooh, one-legged Tadasana. Breathe. Establish the breath in through the nose, down. Exhale up through the sternum. Come back to your intention. As you inhale, push the foot, push the energy forward. As you exhale, take your warrior three. Inhale, push forward. Exhale, warrior three. Keep moving, keep breathing. Find your pace. So we're strengthening the hips while we're opening them. Notice what's happening with the breath. Try and keep the mind out of the equation. We want it to soften. The next time you're back there with your leg extended nice and long, on your exhale, wrap the right foot around the left arm underneath the right, eagle pose. So this time you might arch the upper back slightly to help you find balance. Broaden across the shoulder blades. Lift the elbows away and up so they're in line with the shoulders. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, set it down. Tadasana, mountain pose. Shake it on out. Come back to your mountain pose. Find your breath. Inhale. Exhale. Let's take one of our movement breaths again. So as you inhale, reach the arms up. Pause as you exhale. Inhale, lift up. Arms come down. Exhale, arms up, heels down. Take 2 more at your pace. Just feel the flow of the breath, of the energy. Nice and slow. Last time. Take a deep breath in. Heels down. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, flat back. And as you exhale, step the right foot back, drop the back knee. We're going to come into our dragon pose, our first yin shape. And we're going to be in this dragon pose for 3 minutes on each side. So you have a couple of options. First, depending on how your knee feels, you may want to place your blanket underneath the knee. First option is going to be dragon flying low, where our hands will frame the foot either on the ground or on blocks. Your second option is dragon flying high, hands on the thigh. Third option, hands inside the foot. You might scoop that left foot out for dragon flying low. And for that option, you can always come down to the forearms as well. Trying to find a better way to see. And then you can always take a twisted dragon, opening up that left foot. So these are your options. You'll be in that option for 3 minutes. You can vary. I'll give you the halfway point should you wish. But breathe here. Wherever you're at, do try and feel an opening along the right quadricep. Now this shape, depending on how much tension you're carrying with you, how open your hips are today, and the range of motion in your hips. Oh, we forgot to do our cars on the other side. My bad, everybody. I totally forgot. I'll see if I can work them in. Anywho, will depend on how you can ease into the shape as well. So with that said, if you're having a really hard moment concentrating and the body feels tense, drop the tongue into the bottom of the mouth. Let the saliva cool and be in that space for 10 to 15 seconds. Notice what happens in the body. About halfway there. If you'd like to take a different variation, please feel free to, or feel free to stay right here. Don't force yourself into the shape. Ease into it. Use the breath. About 30 seconds left here. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. As you're ready, lift up onto the hands and slowly start to walk the left foot toward the right hand. Bring the left knee down toward the left wrist, setting up in resting half pigeon, or in we call it swan. So check to make sure the back leg is nice and straight. Again, feel free to place something underneath the knee. And if you find the hip lifting up, place a block or a book underneath that. Curl under the back toes and then scooch back just a little bit, finding more length in the hip. Option to stay here, option to fold forward. So we're actually going to be in this shape for 5 minutes. Don't moan, don't groan, it's okay. We're holding it longer because we want to use the breath to breathe into the shape. So still feeling that stretch along the front side, and then working into that outer left hip and glute. It's a great place for a block for your hands. Maybe you come down to the forearms. And if later on, after you've eased into the shape, you can sink into it more. Remember, this is not something that's going to happen overnight. Our yoga practice, it's something that's going to take time and it's going to continually change. So why force yourself through that journey? Let each breath soften you here. Maybe close the eyes, soften the jaw. Tap back into your internal senses. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel? What do you taste and what do you smell? At any point during the duration of this shape, if you start to feel pain in the knee joint, in the hip joint, anything like that, please get out of it. It's not worth it. And we're working to not harm ourselves, to find freedom, and causing ourselves injury does the opposite of that. You can always come out of it, come back into it, see if maybe cramping was part of it, or just skip it entirely. If the toes start to go numb, you could be too far deep into the shape. And again, come out of it a bit. About 30 seconds left here. Let's all take a deep breath in, deep breath out. Very slowly, just start to lift the upper body up. And begin to swing the right leg around. We're going to come into a double pigeon now. So we're going to stack shapes one on top of the other. And this time we're going to bring the left leg on the bottom, right foot on top. If it feels good to bring ankle on top of knee, great. You can always place a blocker or a blanket underneath the two if there's a bit of space. And if that doesn't feel good, you can cross at the ankles and then work the ankles away from each other and then work the feet away from the body for square pose. Let's pause here just for a moment in this shape. Sitting up nice and tall. Just breathing here. What do you notice about the body? Are you able to find a bit more openness, a bit more peace? By openness, what freedom is happening inside the body, whether that's energetically or emotionally? And that doesn't mean everything we're feeling is going to go away, but maybe things have just gotten a little softer. I don't know. What's your experience like? Tap into that. And from here, I invite you to either give yourself a big hug with your right arm on top, or take your eagle arms, right arm on top, left arm underneath. You can stay here or you can fold. Fold as far as you'd like. Try and sit the sit bones back. Maybe use a block here for the forearms if you'd like. So opening up across the shoulder blades. Let the neck hang heavy. Let it feel loosey-goosey. And breathe. The breath should start to slow. Should almost begin to become effortless. As we find, hopefully, ease in this part of the practice. Notice if you're gripping your hands. Notice if you're gripping your jaw. Try and soften both. About 30 seconds left here. So I'll take a deep, slow breath in and a deep, slow breath out. Gently, slowly start to come on up. Bring both knees up to the sky, about hips width distance apart. And then just rock the knees, rock the hips back and forth. Bring your hands behind you. As you move, try and just press one hip bone down at a time so you're not scooching forward on the mat. And then if it feels all right, maybe you just do this without the hands on the ground. Again, pressing the hip down. That's totally optional. Just press the hip bones down, ground through them. Starting to open that up. Let's take one more breath in here. Breath out. Bring the toes together and swing forward. Finding that squat I know we're all super fond of right now. Let everything hang heavy. Notice how the shape feels in the body, but pay particular attention to the breath. Let's take a deep breath in and exhale, fold forward. We're going to take those hip carves that I forgot on the right side. So as you inhale, bring the right leg up to the side, one-legged Tadasana. Then as you exhale, open it out to the side. Hands can come to the hips if you'd like. Turn it down as if you're lifting the leg, and then scrape the knees. Nice hip circles here. Take 3 or 4 in each direction. And then switch sides. Or switch directions, not sides. We already did the left side. Clockwise and counterclockwise. And then from here, meeting back into Tadasana, go ahead and set it down gently. Arms reach up overhead. Exhale to bow low. Inhale, flat back, lengthen. Exhale, step the left foot back, bring the knee down. So coming into our dragon's pose on this side, feel free to place something underneath the knee. Again, our 4 variations. Hands outside, frame the foot, baby dragon. Hands on the thigh, dragon flying high. Hands or forearms to the ground or to a block on the inside of the foot, dragon flying low. Or you can twist open to the knee for a twisted dragon. Up to you. Each side is very, very different. And we'll be here for 3 minutes. So while we want the sides to be even, how we get there is not necessarily the same. So decide what you need right now in this shape, and only this shape. Don't worry about the other side. Do feel that stretch though along the front left hip flexor. Try and soften the shoulders and release the jaw. About halfway there. Feel free to take another variation if that calls to you. Stay right where you're at. Maybe you need to come out of it for a minute, take a little movement, and then come back into it. Or maybe you're just done with the shape altogether. All great options. You decide. About 30 seconds left here. Continue to breathe deeply. Breathe slowly. And let's take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Begin to slowly lift the arms up and then walk your right foot towards the left hand. Bringing the left knee behind the left wrist. Straighten through the back leg once again. Make sure your hip and toe and knee are in one line for the back leg. Even the hips to the front. Feel free to sit up on a block or a pillow or a blanket to bring just a little bit of space between you and the ground. Uncurl the back toes. Scoot yourself back just a little bit. And then feel free to stay here or fold forward, using the blocks as needed. So we'll be here for 5 minutes. Again, the idea is to tap into the breath. Ease into the shape. We're in no rush. Let the heart rate slow. Let the mind soften. Again, one of our techniques that we're using, top of the tongue, drop it down to the bottom of the mouth. As you take your time to soften into the shape, check back in with the flow of breath. Just notice how it's moving in the body. And check in with the mind. If it's really active, take a moment to just say no thank you to the thoughts and just maybe place them off to the sides. If the thoughts do come up, or if anything else comes up, this might be a time to notice if it's a thought or if it's an emotion. You can just start to label those feelings as they pop up as you breathe and hold the shape. Again, don't linger on anything too long. Just notice and observe. About 30 seconds left here. Let's all take a deep, slow breath in and a deep, slow breath out. Slowly just start to come on up. Swing the left leg around, coming into our double pigeon, whether that's everything stacked one on top of the other, or if you're crossing at the ankles, moving the ankles away from each other and then all of that away from the body. We'll be here for 4 minutes, but let's just sit up nice and tall to start. Checking back in with the body. What do you notice? How do you feel? Can you come back to your intention here? Can you use this shape to bring about a sense of, again, peace and calm, non-harming to you? And then as you're ready, either give yourself a really big hug, left arm on top this time, or eagle arms. And fold forward as far as you'd like to go. And each side can be very different. So you might use your block here to rest things on. About 30 seconds left here. Let's all take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Slowly start to lift back up. Bring the knees back up to the sky. Oof. Rock from side to side. So feet are going to be a little bit wider than maybe hips width distance apart. Hands behind you. Just rotate the hips. And grounding down through the sit bones. Maybe you take the hands off. Up to you. It's totally optional. You just don't want to crawl forward. So really lead with the hip bones. Sit there. And then next time we're back at center, we're going to grab all of those props that I had you get. So you're going to take 2 blocks, place them at the very top of the mat, one beside each other, whatever height your feet need to be at. And then you're going to take your pillow or your bolster and place it on the other side of that, okay? So your feet are going to be on the blocks. And then you're going to take your blanket and you're going to roll it up till it's about 3 inches or so. And you want it to be maybe a little bit wider, a little bit longer, than your pillow. All right. Great time to put on a sweater if you've chilled or anything like that. And then from here, we're going to place in a butterfly shape our feet on the block, so soles of the feet to touch the rest of the legs on the bolster, so our hips are supported by our blanket and our bolster. And then, dear friends, you're going to lay on back. Feel free to explore how close the bum is to your whole setup, how far it needs to be away. And let's take a deep, slow breath in here. And a deep, slow breath out. So you want to feel completely supported by the props. You don't want to be putting in a lot of work. We've already done all of that. So everything that we've been working with in terms of releasing the hips and understanding the breath and where our emotions are at today, truly let this be the final place at this part of the end of this physical practice where you can totally release, where you start to feel some freedom, some liberation in the body, in the movement of the breath, and in the mind. But everything else, let the ground, let the blocks, let the bolster, let the blanket all hold you up and support you. You feel the upper body soften. You start to notice the softness that stems from the head all the way down to the feet. You have the option to stay right here, the option to come into more of a traditional Shavasana. You can be on your back, you can be on your belly. Maybe you come into a seated meditation and just find that other place. It's just going to help you release and let go. Where can you feel the most connection? Begin to feel the weight of your body on the ground. If you've gone into a traditional Shavasana, start to invite some gentle movement back into the body by wiggling fingers and toes. If you stayed in this really supported butterfly shape, just very, very slowly use your hands to help bring the knees up to the ceiling and place the feet on the blocks. Wherever you're at, take a moment just to pause and then roll onto your favorite side. Curling up here, giving yourself a really big hug. You made it to your mat, you showed up. That's what matters. And as you're ready, just begin to slowly push yourself up to find that comfortable seat on top of the mat. Take a moment here just to pause, just to notice, just to be grateful. Grateful to what we were able to learn. Hopefully grateful for how we were able to create more space and a connection. As you bring your hands to your heart space, honor the focus or the calling that brought you to your mat this evening. Bow your heads in a moment of gratitude. Once again, thanking yourself for making time for your practice, making time for your mat, and then silently thanking those who joined us this evening to create this virtual space, this virtual community. As we lift our thumbs to the space between the eye, the third eye center, the seat of our inner wisdom, know that everything you need is already inside. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you all so very much for joining me on this Friday evening. I hope you feel a little bit lighter, maybe a little bit more at peace, and I'll see you all next time. Bye. Bye, Mom.